Hey everyone, it's almost July, which means the year is about half over. And this year has not been anything like any of us expected. But one thing you might be thinking about is how your LinkedIn profile is weak still. Even with all this time, you're wondering, what can I do? I'm going to talk to you about how you could get to your first 1,000 followers, which to me is a benchmark. So that way you get to where you need to be, get visible if you're a job seeker, or get engagement if you're a business owner. And here we go. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Rich Cardona, the Marine turned marketer turned media company owner, and I'm obsessed with LinkedIn and I want to make sure that you get the most out of it, so I give you things for free. So please go ahead and click subscribe if you enjoy LinkedIn content and if you want to get everything you need to take off on that platform. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen, and here we go. Okay, so first things first, I want to make sure that you guys see how active I am. So you know I'm a practitioner, so you know I know what I'm talking about. So here's June so far for me, 83.9 thousand views, 2,100 comments, high engagement rate. If you're not sure what a good engagement rate on LinkedIn is, it's about 2 to 2.5%. So I'm doing way better than I did in May. So look, even though my views are down, my comments are up, engagement's up. Likes are a little bit down, shares are way up, and I've posted about 40 times compared to this part of the month last month. So that's always important, so you know that I'm a practitioner and so that I have the social proof for you to know that you could rely on me to give you good information. So you want to get to 1,000 subscribers. Here's the most important thing you need to know. Let me stop sharing. So you want to get to 1,000 subscribers. The most important thing you need to know is how LinkedIn shows your content to people. And this is what happens. If you have 500 connections and you post something, LinkedIn is going to show it to about 50 people, 10% of your connections. I actually think it's probably more around 7% of your connections. So 50% so 50 of your connections if you have 500. Okay, you don't know what portion of that, you don't know who they're going to show it to, and you don't know how active those people actually are. So if it gets shown to 50 people and they're not engaging with it, LinkedIn is just going to kind of be like, hey, this post is dead. And if it does well, LinkedIn will show it to more people and more of your connections. And once it shows it to more of your connections, it will show it to second and third level connections, which is exactly where you want to be, so you can start building some of those up. So that's very important to know. So to me, a benchmark that is extremely important is to get to that 1,000 subscribers. So here's how we're going to do it, and I'm going to show you right now. So here's Shannon Stewart. It says, telling stories and making ideas relatable plus humorous equals win a client or customer for life. Obviously, we're already connected, but I am a storyteller. I love storytelling. So how can I get more connections out of this? Easy. I'm going to go down and I clicked on her comments already, and I'm going to look for who else talked. Wow, Chris Ferguson also liked this content. He's a second level connection. It says it right here. Hey, did you ever work with belugas? So clearly he's probably in the zoo industry or animal industry like she is. Is that a valuable connection for me, who's a video strategist? Probably not, but I could just like his comment. Maybe he'll want to connect with me just for that. Very nicely put. And here's Richard O'Neill, storytelling and skills training. And she says, why, thank you, expert storyteller. So I'm going to just type a message in here, Richard O'Neill. So what did I do? I tagged him. I have to put the @ symbol. When she says someone is an expert storyteller, I want to meet them. Boom. Okay. And if I don't want him to reach out to connect to me, I'm just going to go ahead and connect to him. So boom, done. Okay, so there's one example. You could do that for any of your first level connections, okay? That's what you can do. It's very easy. If you guys are liking the same kind of content, then that's gonna help a lot. So here's John McCaskill, former Navy SEAL, or he's a Navy SEAL commander. I know him, he's a good friend. So he's talking about, and I will be talking mindfulness tomorrow, but we're taking a unique angle, how mindfulness can help with the military transition. Hello, I wanna talk about that. But he doesn't have any comments. So could I really connect with anyone in there in a good way? Probably not. I'm scrolling down to some of his second level connections that like this story. Not really. So nothing there for me. Now, let's say you are a pastor. I'm just making up something. So I'm a pastor at a church. Let's see. Here's results for pastor. All right. So this gentleman right here, children's pastor at Lighthouse Christian Fellowship Church. Boom. Easy to connect with him if I wanted to. Pastor at United Methodist Church. I'm going to connect with her. Scott Hoover, CPA. He's an accountant, a pastor, and a writer. Hey, I love to write, and I'm really religious. I'm not. I'm just saying, easy. So that's another way. All you simply need to do is put in your field. If I'm a Marine, I could put in Marine for Marine Corps. Let's put in that. I used to be a Marine. This is going to be easy. So what do I want to do? I just want to filter this to second level connections because I don't want anyone I'm just connected with already. So Patrick George, Marine Corps Reserves, easy. 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 And so on. So there's the first two things, okay? People you're already connected with, go to their comments, who's in their comments, and write an additional comment to engage with them. That's low-hanging fruit. For those other ones, if I am an alumni somewhere, if I am a former employee at Apple, I could put in Apple. If I'm a pastor, I could put in pastor, whatever it may be. You can put any of those things in, second, and trim it down to second level connections, and you can connect. Do you want to do a personal note? A lot of people are going to tell you yes. If you just want to get into a growth strategy and get to 1,000 and over, then just hit connect and just play the rule of numbers. If you want to leave a note, be like, hey, I saw that you were a Marine just like I was, Semper Fi, love you, man. Connect. You can do that if you'd like. Third thing you can do, hashtags. What hashtags are you following or are you using? Am I in video? Am I an entrepreneur? Am I in business? So let's just hit entrepreneurship really quick. Here we go. 22 million followers. Okay, that's a lot. So let's look at Erica Warfield. 9,900 LinkedIn lovelies. I don't even know what that means. I think she's trying to get to 10K. I mean, you can if you'd like. There you go. So you could connect with her. David Breyer, no company can bore customers into engagement. I love your take on this, David Breyer, blah, blah, blah. This is a great post. Thank you so much. Would love to connect. You can do that in the comments, and that will grow your network as well. Okay, and last but not least, go to this icon. It's going to say My Network. Obviously, you're going to want to accept anyone that connects with that is sending you a connection request, unless you really feel awkward about it or weird. Again, we're just trying to get to about 1,000. So that way, we get 100 people that'll see our initial posts. And obviously the goal is to get more and more people to see that initial post as LinkedIn will show it. So let's see here. So here's connections I may know. So if I just connected with her and she sent me a connection request, this is going to show me people that she knows that might be a good connection. That's super easy. And then people I may know from Florida State University. That's where I did my undergrad. Like, okay, boom, boom, boom. And you know what? Again, numbers game. If you just care about the numbers and getting to 1,000, then you should be able to do this. And some people will be like, wow, that person went to school where I went to or worked where I worked. So easy day. And we'll go from there and building our connections out. So LinkedIn's always going to help you, do that. People you may know from this group I'm in, I mean, super easy. Now, mutual connections, that always really helps. Having mutual connections always really helps as far as determining the quality. And then last possible thing you can do is go ahead and follow some pages that matter to you or some groups, and you could connect with people in there. So what is the final step here? Final step here is to determine how many connection requests you could send out a day. I have clients and I have friends and acquaintances on this platform who are like, I've been able to send out 100 a day. Some people said I used up my connections for the month. I am talking about completely organic. You don't need LinkedIn Premium. Send out as many as you can a day. Keep track of it and just see how many you did, because once it tells you, hey, you've reached your connection limit or request for the day, you need to know that number so you don't hit that number again. Otherwise, LinkedIn is just going to say, hey, dude, like you're overbearing us, you're overbearing people. Figure out that number. Let's just call it 50 and then do 40 every other day. And let's do some math here. I don't have my phone on me. 40 times 30 is 1,200. So maybe, 1,200 are 1,200 people going to accept? Probably not. So let's cut that in half, 600. If you're at 500 connections, it could take you a month to get to 1,100. And that's where you want to be. and you do it over and over. And this is a quantity piece right now. I don't think it's a quality piece, and that is certainly arguable. Quality connections are extremely important, but right now you just want your content to be seen. Any questions, hit me up. Please go ahead and don't forget to subscribe, and I'm here to help. Send me any and all LinkedIn questions whenever. Take care.